Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to LegendBTV, where legends go for none other than music, discussion, comedy, and more. And today we're talking about the newest album from Alison Wonderland called Awake. This right here is... Nah, just kidding. This right here is the sophomore LP from Australian female DJ and producer Alison Wonderland. I've actually never heard of her before, but then I realized she had a 2015 album called Run, and I figured after this review I'd better run and go check it out. But yeah, the first thing to point out is definitely that cover. I mean, Alison, why you be rolling your eyes at me, girl? Like, girl, that ain't cool. Basically, I wasn't really even sure what to expect going into her first ever project that I've ever heard from her. So I just dived right in with an optimistic approach. And what did I find on Awake? Well, this album's certainly interesting. There's a lot to really dive into with this album, mainly on production. There's a lot of things going on in this album. Alison throws a lot of hard-hitting bass, some touches of beautiful piano here and there, and a lot of trap-centric and a lot of skittering going on and all kinds of that skirt stuff. So let's just dive right in, track by track. I really like the climax of the opening track, Good Enough. It features a lot of dramatic instrumentation that I really enjoy. Although I don't really care for the repetitive melody on the drop. It just sort of ruins the track in my personal opinion, and the fact that the track starts out this way really kind of puts me in a bad mood to start off the album, and that's never a good thing. The second track, entitled No, thankfully improves things quite a bit with this one. Arguably, it's one of the poppier moments, but I definitely wouldn't say that's a bad thing here. Lots of tropical house vibes, plenty of pitch shifting both up and down, and it's overall just a sweet, fun track. Also, P.S., Alison is a very good singer. Creds to you, Alison. The track following this one is another track with a male-centric robotic vocal. And overall, it really isn't one of my favorites here, but it's okay. Honestly, my biggest problem with this is the drop. It really just kind of falls flat and really just kind of grinds to a halt once it gets to that point. But other than that, this track is okay. The next track, Easy, is very bass-centric, very future bass mixed with a fuse of trap music, with also lyrics about finding someone easy and why they're pretty much a lot to handle, especially Alison with her feelings of depression, and the themes all across the album about that, and how basically someone who's been depressed, they feel like they're a lot to handle, especially with boyfriends and relationships, and she sings on the hook, why can't you go find somebody easy? And yeah, you really feel the struggle. Plus, vocally, it's another very strong track, too. Next up, we have our first feature on this album, High, featuring Trippie Redd, with 2 Ds. And it's a nice change of pace, more of a chill, laid-back vibe, until we get to the drop. The drop is very in-your-face, really bassy, and I like that. It's in a good way. Also, the production is very solid here, and the vocal is actually really chill and cool, too. I like Trippie on this track. So yeah, overall, good job on this one. Next up is a track called Here For You, and it's another collaboration. Features very heavy bass and a looping synth-to-bass pattern. The middle of the track is where things start getting really awesome in particular. I mean, the first half is okay, but feels a bit lacking. But whenever those melodies and dynamics start popping up in the second half, slowly transcending into this awesome climax at the end of this song, it just feels awesome. So yeah, the track overall is pretty good, but it gets better as it goes on, so definitely, yeah, check this one out. Catchy vibes abound on track 7, which is Church, easily one of my favorite songs on this album. The lyrics are all about Alison telling her lover to treat her like she is church, like she is basically God, like she is the most important person in her life. And yeah, it's basically like when you're under depression, you only want to be treated like you're the best, nothing less. And unfortunately, I've not ever felt depression, but I do know people who struggle with depression, and I know it's a hard thing, and I know you just want love, you need sympathy, you need somebody to be there for you, and this track definitely centers that, along with this awesome production. I mean, by far the highlight of this track is the drop. Honestly, the way it transcends in and out with the bass and the melody, and the vocals going along with it, it's so catchy, and overall the track is just awesome. This is a great one. Yeah, male and female communication occurs on the next track, which is Cry. And honestly, I really don't have much to say here. It's another tropical house kind of cut, and overall it's okay, kind of forgettable, one of the more kind of tracks on here. Not really my thing, but it's fine enough, it's passable. Yeah, the next track here really isn't my favorite either. The drop is very annoying, actually, with those vocal loops going all throughout it. I feel like the drop would have been so much better had the vocals either not been as repetitive or just been omitted throughout the entire thing. Good Girls, Bad Boys stays mostly instrumental till about the very end, and overall, it's generally a fine song. Didn't really find that much that really stood out to me about this one. but I do think it's okay. I gotta say, Dreamy Dragon is definitely a standout moment on here. Chief Keef is fire on this track, and in general, it's just awesome, honestly. The production on this one is fantastic, and even Chief Keef delivers a solid verse in this track. Then we get to an interlude entitled Hope, and, well, it's got a decent melody in it. Sometimes Love features good vocals from Wonderland and an awesome bombastic drop. However, it features this screeching melody, which kind of just distracts me from enjoying the bombastic drop and just makes me want to turn the song, because unfortunately, it's just not my cup of tea. I'm like, the rest of the track was great, but this production choice just kind of taints it for me. I don't know, it's just me though, sorry. And then finally, we close this album off with Awake, and honestly, this is a great closer. It's one of the best features of her vocals on this album, and is a really beautiful track when you think about it. So, in general, yeah, the album ends off on a high note. Overall, while the album is a mixed bag, and a lot of production choices I could have done without in replace of better or just different ones, it's still unique, something new, which I can respect, and kind of fun. Overall, I'm going to say a decent 6 out of 10 for this record, and I mildly got some enjoyment out of it, so that's good. Overall, fine work, Alison, and I'd be interested to see what you're doing on your third album. So overall, yeah, that is my review of the newest from Alison Wonderland, entitled Awake. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed my review. I have a lot more to come, a lot of projects, a couple of collabs, got a lot of lit stuff coming up. We're going to be reviewing more albums. I'm actually going to be going on a trip in a few days, so I'm just kind of going to be on autopilot with my uploads. You won't really notice, but yeah. So anyways, thank you all for watching, and it means a heck of a lot. Please subscribe.